what is going wrong that you are still waiting for your product registration in Brazil? This is a frequently questions that I get all the time when I do presentations or when I'm talking about the food and drug law in Brazil with foreign companies. Actually, I cannot tell you exactly what is going wrong. I need to see case by case. What I know is Anvisa, our agency in Brazil, is updating their system more and more, harmonizing concepts, doing international agreement in order to facilitate the international business for companies. So why it is still going wrong, or why are you still waiting for your product registration? What I would like to give you is some tips to help you think about your strategy in Brazil and how your regulatory affairs staff are dealing with this issue in Brazil to get your product registration approval. First of all, it's very important to know if you are dealing with the right players, which means if the people that you hired have enough knowledge to assist you with your product registration approval. Sometimes I see companies hiring people that are not knowledgeable enough, or someone that is a consultant but for other kind of product, not exactly pharmaceutical or medical device, and then this professional also are having difficulties by himself to understand and to accomplish with the requirements of our government. Secondly, as all documents that you send to Brazil must be in Portuguese version, so which means that you cannot send papers in English and expecting that the government agents will perfectly understand the contents of your products. Do a very good translation in Portuguese from Brazil version, not Portugal from Portugal. It can make a tremendous difference. I know that. I studied in Portugal once and I saw how difficult it is to understand some words in Portuguese from Portugal. So small things and maybe can do a huge difference at the very end of your experience to approve your product registration. Second, another thing is always pay attention when your staff is telling you, I know someone in the government, I'm going to set up meetings in the government to help you to get your product registration approval. Believe it or not, we have a system that can work without having this kind of skills, because we created a system actually to avoid some interferences outside. It's not essential and important to know who is who, or come with some people from the political side and so on. You can do different strategies for sure, it's up to you, but pay attention when it's come frequently. Oh, I'm going to set up a meeting because the agencies not understand, they are not really expert to understand your technology. Yes, sometimes it's important to have face-to-face with the Brazilian agents, but the frequency is the same that you have with FDA or EMEA or other international agents. So don't trust so much in this kind of strategy. Sometimes there are more things hiding there than only face-to-face. And also be sure that your distributor, your partner in Brazil are definitely very well legalized. Sometimes They are legalized for food, not for pharmaceutical or for medical device, and not for food and so on. So pay attention in his profile, take a look in their documents, and once you get your approval, it's not the end. By contrary, that's the moment that you need to be side by side of your staff or your distributor to pay attention in their procedures day by day in the market. A lot of huge problems come from this part on, especially when we are talking about some advertisements, some business strategies that cannot be exactly in accordance with the Brazilian law.